it's Ingrid Blackburn. Today we're going to create a tri-fold shutter card using the Persian flower motif set by Altenew. This is a very simple project. You're going to take a 10.5 inch by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, and we're going to score it pretty uniformly at the 1 3/4, 3.5, and then we're going to go a whole 3.5 inches to the 7 and the 8 3/4 mark. I'm going to have all these dimensions down below in the tutorial. So there you have the scored pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut from the two outside scored lines, a line going all the way across. So we're cutting about a 1.5 inch inward all the way across. So you'll see it when I lift it up. So we cut from the 2 to the 8 3/4 inch mark, and then I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And this is basically creating our card base. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some fancy folding here, and we're going to create this amazing shutter card. So if you were to hold it completely at the top, and just let it hang down, once it's all folded, you'll see it kind of looks like blinds or like shutters. And that's kind of where the name comes from. Now the trifold part is the card is actually going to be folded into 3. So you can see here we have everything cut out, and then we're going to start to do some folding here. I'm going to start by folding the thirds. So we're going to take it to the second line there. We're going to fold that and then fold it to the other side so that it's completely uniform. And basically our card is 5.5 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide. And you can see there's the tri part of it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the shutter pieces and we're going to fold them so they're alternating. So the middle one we're going to leave, and then the top one we're going to fold in the reverse way. And then we're going to use a bone folder to just kind of get those nicely creased. I flipped that around and did that. And then we're going to do the exact same thing to the bottom. So here I'll pull it out so you can see. So where you have a peak in the middle, you'll have a valley on the top and the bottom, and vice versa with the other ones. And that's pretty much the entire card base. And now we're going to decorate the entire card. It's a relatively simple project. It's just a matter of getting to know all the dimensions and then how you make everything fit within your card base. And that's how the card stands like that. But it's a very, very cool project. I encourage you to try it. Now here I stamped out the Persian motif set by Altenew, and that's how it's cut apart. Now all these are going to be down below. That piece you saw off to the right and these two little pieces, those are garbage. And here's how you're going to actually lay it out if you end up doing a pattern like I did. You can see how that matches. Now if you were to just slide that down, and you'll see me do this here, if you were to just slide this downward right here, your pattern would be fine up top, but the bottom, like I'm pointing out right there, would not. It would be completely mismatched. So what we actually have to do is we have to account for that 1/8 of an inch border at the bottom. I'm kind of pointing to where those two little 1/8 inch borders are going to be. So the bottom of the top third and then the middle piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut away a 1/4 inch from our center piece here. And we're going to do that to the top part. This is actually, I'm cutting the top part, and we need to do the same on the bottom. So I'm just going to flip it around and do the exact same thing. And I'm going to go through this entire thing one more time with the next set of images that I'm cutting apart. So you can see here, now when it's spaced out, you have that really pretty Midnight Muse border around our craft colored cardstock, but yet our pattern is interrupted. It's just kind of stretched, and yes, we are missing a little bit of it, but it has a little bit of a better flow than if it were just completely off. So here we're cutting away the 1 1/4 inches. Now we're going to cut, and that's our top piece. Now we're going to cut that 1/4 inch that we're going to throw away, flip it around, and then I'm going to go cut again 1 1/4 inches because that's the bottom piece. And then to the left is the center piece, and I'm going to take off now the 1/4 inch, and this is the bottom of the center piece. I hope that made sense. It sounded confusing as I was saying it, but I'll kind of have this all written down also. So you can see there is your pattern. Now we're going to transfer this to our card. Now you can see here on the back, I've actually labeled, this is actually my C panel, and I've labeled it 1, 2, 3. All my ones are at the top. And I did this on the back before I cut any of them apart so that I wouldn't have the pattern messed up. It's very easy when you have a pattern to have like your card, your piece that's positioned in the top part on the bottom and vice versa. So here you see it completely laid out. And from here, all you're going to do is you're going to attach it. Now I like to use glue only because it gives me just a few seconds to reposition it without, any major catastrophes. And that makes it nice and easy for me. I try to make things stress-free if possible. I hate it when stuff gets stuck and you can't take it apart and then you have to start from scratch. And so glue is my friend. I love this glue. So we're going to get that all set. And then I'm not going to actually have you watch the entire assembly of the card. I'm going to speed through it really, really fast. But I just wanted to note, I'm going to show you these next 3 pieces here. As you're putting this together, I want you to be aware of your lines that are going across. So that extra 1/8 of an inch that you have there at the bottom, and the same thing at the top. You want to make sure that your panels next to each other line up. Otherwise, it's going to look off and it's going to bother you a little bit when it's all done. So just kind of be aware of that. So here I'm working on the front third of the card right now. The first and the second row of my design. So that's going to be my standard. So from here, I'm just going to kind of match everything going across. And I actually end up jumping all the way to the last panel, and then I work inward a little bit. So you can see there, I'm making sure to line everything up, and then I speed through this super, super quick. But lining up that top part right there, that's really, really key. This was actually a very, very simple card to put together. Once you have the diagram and what the sizes are, it's relatively easy. It would be super cute with a birthday or a Christmas, really any occasion. For me, this is a birthday card, but I kind of wanted something that could have gone for masculine or feminine. It didn't necessarily have to be one or the other, and that's where I chose my colors. Now there you have it all together. I'm going to bring that all together the way the card is, kind of squash it down, make sure all that glue adheres, and that's your card base with the fronts on it. So here you see the project almost complete, just without the extras. Here it is from the back, and the back has a great place to actually do a little writing, put another panel, so you don't have to necessarily write on the front. This is almost like the front of a card. It's pretty cool. I do have some other sizes to show you. These next two, granted these are just the bases, but they're made with 12-inch long pieces. And the key here, and this one also 12-inch long, but 7 inches tall. So, perfect for pictures and other things. The key is those 3 panels have to be the same. So you're going to have your left 2 and your right 2 be the same space. So whether it's 2 inches, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, whatever it is, whatever those 2 equal, that's the measurement of your center piece. So here you see the front third. Now I was kind of pointing to the happy. I mounted the happy up on another colored piece, and that just kind of helped it to stand out. I did some watercolor painting with some of the Persian motifs with some gold and some sap green and some beautiful deep blues, added a lot of sequins, and it's a very special card. There it's standing up. I love this card. It's so, so cool, and it's a real special treat. So now I have some quick little snapshots just so you can see the evolution of the card. This really is a very simple project. I can't stress that enough. It's just a matter of just having your dimensions, and I'm going to have everything listed out for you below. Take your time with it. Definitely label the back. That's very, very key so that you have your pattern going the right way. Use different pieces of colored cardstock. There's all sorts of things you can do. And here are some even tighter close-ups so you can really see the detail of this card. So I hope you're having fun. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I am a huge fan of moving cards and fancy folds. It's not something I do on a day-to-day basis, but these are great special occasion cards. And this is a real simple one, so I encourage you to try it. I can't wait to see what you create. Feel free to ask any questions you want below. I'm happy to answer anything for you, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.